Hi and welcome to Shave and Butcher. Today I wanted to make a video for you if you're interested in getting into traditional wet shaving. What is it? How do you get started? What gear do you need, etc. Well, you need a few things, and if you ask traditional wet shavers what the best stuff is, you ask 10 guys or girls, you'll get 10 different answers. So nothing's right or wrong, but there are a few fundamentals that you really need to qualify as a traditional wet shaver, if you will. You need a shaving soap or a shaving cream. This one is British, very traditional recipe. It's called Tailor of Old Bond Street. Soaps come in different forms. They come as sticks, they come as in bowls, they come loose, etc. All kinds of varieties, but you need something that you can make a lather out of. To do that, you need a brush, a shaving brush, and there are different kinds of brushes, different sizes, different shapes of the knot, different handles, etc. You've got synthetic hairs, which are usually quite inexpensive, easy to maintain, do a really good job. You have natural hair brushes, a few varieties. This one is from Badger and typically more expensive. A lot of people think they're luxurious. If you're against animal cruelty, that could be an issue. There are boar brushes, so made from pig hairs basically. This one has a nice copper handles, another world, big rabbit hole to fall into. Or you can have a horsehair brush like this one. Not everyone likes them, but I think this one is quite nice, quite pretty. With the brush, you load soap and you either make a lather in a bowl by agitating the soap, adding water to get the consistency you like, or you load the brush, put it on your face, and do the same thing on your face as you otherwise do in the bowl. There are different ways to look at traditional wet shaving. You can look at old school stuff like the British soap that I just showed you. There's also a myriad of artisanal product. This is from Portugal, and artisans, there's loads of them, more and more. They make really beautiful, fantastic products that you can use. But to get started, just use something. You also need a razor, and there are very different types of razors for traditional shaving. This is a safety razor. This is from Gillette, King C Gillette, quite inexpensive, readily available in a lot of countries. This one is 3 pieces that you screw together. You put in a blade. This is a razor blade. You need a specific razor blade for shaving, not the ones you cut wallpapers with or carpets. And these load in different ways, but you put it in the razor, you use it until it's not comfortable anymore, and then you exchange the blade for a new one. Blades, hundreds and hundreds of different kinds. You'll find your favorites, and your favorites will vary, but it's another rabbit hole to get into if you want to. You can also use straight razors or varieties of that. This one is we call them chevettes. They are straight razor looking razors, but instead of a steel blade, you put in one of those blades I just showed you. This one takes half blades. You snap them in two, you open up, you pop them in, and voila, same thing. You shave until the blade is not comfortable anymore, and then you exchange it. You can also use a traditional straight razor. All the kinds of straight razors. Nice for collections if you're into that. This is a German one. These come in different lengths, widths, grinds, and they all do the same thing, but preferences vary, and I like a bit of variety, and I do like collecting stuff, so I have quite a few. Now, the difference with this one is that this blade is not interchangeable. You don't swap it around. You need to make sure it stays keen. So these require a bit more maintenance. You need two things to operate or to maintain a straight razor. You need a strop. This is a hanging strop. There are also paddle strops that you use on a table. This is hung on a hook, and stropping is a skill that you need to learn. Watch YouTube, there's loads of videos about stropping. But you need this in between shaves to maintain the keenness of the edge. What you also need is either you purchase a bunch of whetstones that you use to sharpen the razor. That's tricky. So if you're like me, you find a friend or someone close to you who is really good at honing, sharpening straight razors, and you send them off to them and they do the job for you. So you can choose the laborious route of doing it yourself. A lot of people enjoy that as part of the hobby, or you take the easy way out and you send it away to someone. But more skill, one way to do it is to start with interchangeable blades, basically the same technique, and then you can move into straight razors later on if you want to. I jumped in at the deep end, and I was lucky to get good help. Good help can be obtained from Facebook groups, for example. Yeah, I know Facebook, but it's traditional, it's old school, and YouTube and Instagram and a lot of internet forums as well. Afterwards, if you want to, you can use a post-shave product like an aftershave or a balm, or you can just use a face moisturizer. But you know, it's nice to use something. I picked this up at Walmart in the US, cheap and cheerful, very nice, does the job. Quite often the artisans who make soaps also make a matching aftershave, which can be nice. Not cheap, but it can be nice, and the scent profiles are the same, so it's all part of the Zen routine, which is traditional wet shaving. Okay, ask me questions if you want to. Loads of places to buy stuff. Google traditional wet shaving or whatever the word is in your language, and you'll find outlets who sell all kinds of products. It's a lot of fun. I hope you get into it. Try it out. It could be fun. If it isn't fun, you let it go. You sell your gear and you're done with it. If you want to go on the cheap, secondhand is a big thing. Again, Facebook groups, search your way to a community close to you, and you'll get a lot of help. It's a community of nerds like me, where everyone typically is very helpful. So don't be afraid, jump in, deep end, shallow end, just do it. Okay, thanks for watching, stay sharp.